batteries. Ford is moving to a new focus at the electric vehicle battery plant in Hardin County. It'll also come with major layoffs of the existing workers by Blue Oval SK. Hello, everybody, and thank you very much for joining us tonight. I'm Doug Proffitt. We have been following this late-breaking story very closely tonight. 1 week before Christmas, the news is certainly a shocker. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear was right here in Louisville tonight when the story broke, and WHAS 11 team's Alex Dieter and photojournalist Aspen Hester caught up with him and explained the change.
With what the president did in the big ugly bill, with what Brett Guthrie did, because this is in his district and passing it. You know, they took a hatchet to the EV industry where we become a national leader. Any temporary job losses is directly on this president and that congressman, because there was a big, bright future in front of it.
Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear on the sweeping layoffs at the Blue Oval SK battery plant in Glendale. Mallory Cook with Blue Oval SK confirmed that all positions have been terminated. Cook says that the 1,500 joint venture team members at the Kentucky plant, along with some of the 1,650 team members in the state, will be laid off.
What we don't know about is the current jobs that are at Blue Oval, how many will be retained in the short term, and when the hiring begins and how it ramps up.
Ford announced quickly its plans to hire 2,100 workers after it converts the EV battery plant into energy storage.
It's very unfortunate that the employees are going to be laid off, but Blue Oval SK is going away. And all of those employees will have that opportunity to reapply with Ford Motor Company to hopefully go back to work.
President and COO of Elizabethtown Hardin County Industrial Foundation, Andy Games, says their top priorities are with the impacted employees and working with Ford to get the new project up and running.
To where we can turn around and hopefully rehire all of those employees that were laid off into a new job with Ford Motor Company.
Blue Oval SK says the employee's last day with the company will be 60 days after receiving notice.
We've got a very thriving manufacturing sector here locally in Elizabethtown, and some of those jobs could be filled within existing manufacturing plants.
The announcement comes just days after SK On's disclosure that it was ending the partnership with Ford.
What I do think it does is it secures the future of Kentucky One. And as long as battery storage is moving the way that I think it will, it creates a good possibility for Kentucky too.
Despite the looming layoffs, Kentucky's governor is staying optimistic for the change ahead.
So good to hear the perspective of Andy Games, that you talked to him tonight. This story sort of was like whiplash today. Right. The way it came out was pretty crazy. First we hear 1 minute that all 1,600 workers are going to be laid off, but then news that Ford's going to be hiring them back even more than 1,600.
Right. There's a lot of information to digest right now, and we are bringing you the information as we get it. But Ford is actually expecting this conversion to the energy storage to take about 1.5 years. So it's not going to happen overnight. And so Ford also says the facility is expected to open in 2027. It says it plans to invest $2 billion over the next 2 years to scale the new battery energy storage system business. And like we heard from the governor and Ford and Andy Games all tonight, all current Blue Oval SK employees are eligible to reapply for the Ford energy storage system. But again, that won't be up and running for almost another 2 years, Doug.
All right.